welcome your Aurora University Spartans.
The NAC tournament will be decided tonight. It is the championship match of the 2025 Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference Tournament featuring the second-seeded Aurora University Spartans and the fourth-seeded Milwaukee School of Engineering Raiders. And we're glad you're with us on this Friday night, the start of a very busy weekend of AU athletics. We'll tell you about how the teams got here. First, our broadcast tonight is presented in part by BSN Sports. Wear what the Spartans wear. Visit athletics.aurora.edu/getaugear. By Chick-fil-A in Oswego. Eat more chicken. By Kaufman GMC in Aurora, celebrating 75 years of service to Aurora and communities across Chicagoland. By Elite Management Properties, offering extensive student housing options around the Aurora University campus. By Raising Cane's in Oswego. One Love. And by Rush Orthopedics, let me try that again, by Rush Orthopedics and Sports Medicine in Aurora and Yorkville, Fox Valley's premier orthopedic care specialists. In for Bill Downing tonight, my name is Sean Fry. Aurora 13-3-3 overall. They were second in the NAC at 10-1-1. How'd they get here? In the quarterfinals, a 3-1 win right here against 7th-seeded Benedictine. And then if you missed it on Tuesday night, a wild one.
One more clap for IC there.
NAC tournament champs are back for the third consecutive season, for the 10th time overall. They shut out Dominican, the 5-seed, 3-0 in the quarterfinals, and then made it a 2-0 win on Tuesday at NAC champion Edgewood. Despite being outshot 20-9, Lachlan Ladd scored what held up as the winner in the 48th minute. Danny Aranda added another in the 70th minute. And sophomore goalkeeper Christian Dersham had a career-high 9 saves in his first career shutout. What a time for that, as MSOE advanced into the final, where they will try to do this all again. Last season in the championship match, MSOE able to pick up the 2-1 win. Aurora will be looking to have a different result in the final this season. Starting lineups are on the way. Stay with us here in the final match of the NAC season, the tournament championship at Spartan Stadium. It is coming up. This is Aurora University men's soccer.
Welcome to Aurora University and the Spartan Athletic Park. Tonight's contest features a Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference men's soccer tournament championship game between the visiting Raiders of Milwaukee School of Engineering and the Spartans of Aurora University. Now, before we meet tonight's starting lineup, we ask that everyone please rise and kindly move our hats and face the flag as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Aurora and MSOE in the NAC Tournament Championship match. Moments away here at Spartan Stadium. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting and fourth-seeded MSOE Raiders. Rob Harrington has done a lot of winning with this program. He'll line up a 4-3-3 to start things off tonight. In the back row, it's Michael Rohrman, Alex Lamb, Peter Yelly, and Adrian Manchado.
In goal is number 44, Christian Dersham.
Manchado, a first-team all-conference selection, and he was joined in that area by Michael Rohrman, who was a second-team all-conference pick. We'll go through all of those as the match goes along. NAC honorable mention, Danny Aranda, and first-team NAC pick, Tanner Celio, are among the midfielders. They'll be joined by Irvan Sarvan, and the forwards are led by the first-team all-conference pick, Nico Pika. NAC second-team selection, Ditar Useni, and Lachlan Ladd, who I mentioned had the game winner against Edgewood on Tuesday night. So Rohrman, Lamb, Yelly, and Manchado in the back row. The midfielders, Aranda, Celio, and Sarvan. The forwards, Pika, Useni, and Ladd for the Raiders here tonight. Second-seeded Aurora will line up this way. Ryan Lakin with a 5-3-2 for the proceedings tonight. In the back row, the left back is the freshman Ray Fisher. On the right side, it's Nick Feet, the senior. Also in the back row, Adrian Rozolis, Julian Orozco, a first-team all-conference pick. And they'll be joined in the back by David Peters, who was the only one for Aurora to play all 90 minutes against Benedictine. Orozco, the only one who's played every minute of the NAC tournament so far. In the midfield, Walter De La Paz, a second-team all-conference pick. Will be joined by fellow second-team selection Carlos Vira. And Josue Roman, who was, as you might imagine, a first-team selection. And up front, it's Luca Avendano, a second-team all-conference pick. He'll be joined with the NAC Forward of the Year, Brandon Dolzal, the league leader with 18 goals and 43 points. So again, Fisher, Feet, Rozolis, Orozco, and Peters in the back row. De La Paz, Vira, and Roman in the midfield. Avendano and Dolzal, the forwards for Aurora. And our goalkeeping matchup tonight, it's Alex Egliadelis in the net for Aurora. His 109 goals against average is fifth in the NAC, 734 save percentage. The senior from Newport Richey, Florida, who was a NAC honorable mention selection this year. He'll be opposed by the third-year starter, Asher Harris, for MSOE. The senior from Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, was a second-team all-conference pick. He hasn't appeared in the last 5. He's back into the net tonight for MSOE with an .071 goals against average and an .808 save percentage, both of which are second in the NAC. And that's how they line up. And that means we're set. We will decide who will have the automatic qualifier into the NCAA tournament. Second seed versus fourth seed. MSOE will start moving left to right, wearing all red with white numbers. Aurora wearing a white kit with blue shorts and white socks, blue numbers, and the AU logo on the chest. They'll move right to left. Egliadelis, the goalkeeper, and Harris, the MSOE netminder, obviously are wearing a different kit. For Harris, he is wearing black, and for Egliadelis, who knows? He's in the huddle there. I'm going to guess it's some kind of green rather than a red hue that we have seen from Aurora's goalkeepers in the past. Looks like Egliadelis actually is wearing black, so both of the goalkeepers today in black kits. We're all set. It's a busy night of AU athletics. Men's basketball hosting the Mickey Johnson Classic tonight. They are at home against Gustavus Adolphus. Before that, Bethany Lutheran in progress playing Rockford today. The Aurora Gustavus season opener for the Spartans is at 8 o'clock. Women's basketball is at the Webster Tip-Off Classic outside of St. Louis. They're taking on Blackburn today. AU women's hockey just dropping the puck at Lake Forest. The Spartans looking for their first win of the season. And then another busy slate tomorrow that we'll tell you about as we proceed. MSOE has it. We are underway. Aurora with a quick pick in the midfield, and they hurry to advance the ball as Fisher plays it forward and finds Avendano, who came down into the midfield to get it. And Aurora sets up possession here in the opening seconds of the first half. Aurora, one of 2 teams to qualify for all 19 NAC tournaments. In total, it's their 22nd straight conference tournament appearance back to the days of the Northern Illinois-Iowa Conference. 7th time that they've been in the NAC tournament final. Won it in 2022, looking to make it number 2 in the NAC tonight. For MSOE, their 18th NAC tournament appearance. They are all consecutive. The defending champs, they are 4-time tournament victors. We mentioned in the final for the 3rd straight year, the 10th time overall. MSOE with the takeaway in the midfield, and they give it right back, trying to find Pika. Fisher now on it, trying to shake Pika, and draws the foul. MSOE voted to finish 2nd in the NAC preseason poll. You did wonder how they would replace brilliant defenders Stephen Arthur and Ian Frost, and yet they've managed to do it. This is the 7th best team in the nation in terms of goal differential, up against the 3rd best team in Aurora, plus 43 against plus 48. They can do it all. Both these teams, Aurora, the 2nd highest scoring team in the country. MSOE's in the top 20. They allow less than a goal per match. Aurora fouled about 30 yards out. That was De La Paz earning the free kick, and Aurora will have the first good opportunity a little more than 2 minutes into the contest. You could go on, setting up the scene for how deserving these 2 teams are to be in this match, but only one will win and play next week in the big dance. Free kick for Aurora, crossed into the box. Dolezal got to it. He settles it, shoots, and it's blocked 20 yards out. Then De La Paz tees it up. That went straight up into the air. And Aurora called for a foul. MSOE will have the free kick. This is the fourth time that the NAC Tournament Championship has been a rematch from the previous year. Aurora or MSOE have figured in to all of those. Most recently, it was MSOE and Dominican who played in 2017 and 2018. Prior to that, MSOE and Dominican in 2014 and 2015. And all the way back in 2007 and 2008. And I just realized I was in college at that time, and I just said all the way back, and I'm feeling terrible at the moment. It was Aurora and Dominican doing that. I should stop saying all the way back about things that have occurred when I was the age of the people on the field. Corner for MSOE after they get an opportunity just outside the 6. And they'll have the first corner free kick of the evening, hand in the air. A low line drive to the front post. It's in the air and volleyed up and over the cage. I think that might have been Useni getting to it, but not being able to put it on target, and we stay scoreless. We're 4.5 minutes into our first half. Aurora with a line drive down the far sideline. Avendano trying to find it. He absorbed some contact, and it's launched into the parking lot here at Spartan Athletic Park. Temperature's falling. It's 53 degrees. We could see some precipitation, although it's more likely to come in overnight. And this match happening not a moment too soon, because there could be snow this weekend here in Northern Illinois. Don't think would be the most pleasant circumstances to be playing under, so they'll decide this under the lights when it's dry. Fallon Aurora and MSOE will work it out of their defending third. We are 5+ minutes into our first half. Raiders looking for some space, but content to be very methodical as they work their way up the field. Long lofted through ball, trying to find Pika and wasn't able to connect. Agliadelis was on top of that. And so MSOE, for as methodical as they appeared to be, decided to launch one 50 yards through the air and just a bit out of reach. Throw-in coming for the Spartans. Fifth time these teams have met in the NAC tournament. MSOE has won 3 of the 4. Of course, there was the 2-1 win last year in the final. In the 2022 semifinals, Aurora, on their way to the title, had Brandon Dolezal score the winner in the 87th minute of a 2-1 win. It's a 2-0 win for MSOE in 2017, and it went to PKs in 2015. MSOE winning that one. Dolezal on the ball and starting the rush. Tried to thread a through ball through to Roman, and it was defended. But Vira follows up. He stays on the ball, steps into the 18. The left-footed strike was blocked. As Alex Lamb, the senior, able to get back. It goes out for a throw, and Aurora will regroup. Fisher leaves it for Vira. Did not get a lot on the cross, and it was defended by Lachlan Ladd. Out for another throw, and Fisher will try to connect again in the 8th minute. It is headed to De La Paz, out to Fisher again. He'll cross it to the top of the 18. That's headed away. Back to De La Paz, and now Roman. Long, low, right-footed strike was blocked. Chipped forward, and Useni looking for space. He finds Pika, who gets off on the counter, but has to hit the brakes as Aurora was getting back on defense. And Pika instead will look to send it out wide, but the pass was too hot for Rorman. Was buried by feet for the foul. And MSOE will have a free kick 40 yards from the goal. Great crowd here tonight at Spartan Stadium, looking to cheer on mostly the Spartans to victory. There are some MSOE fans out there making themselves heard. Why would you want to miss this? Free kick is in. It looked more like a shot than a cross, and Egliadelis was up to the task regardless. And we stay scoreless. Line drive up the middle on the lofted through ball. Didn't connect with Dolezal. MSOE retakes possession. Into the midfield for Celio. And now working forward and out wide. Manchado, the first team all-conference pick. Leaves it for Ladd. Out wide. Chipped into the box. Egliadelis is there. We're 9 minutes in, no score. Both teams trying to see what's available. You're seeing the bag of tricks being emptied relatively early here. A lot of long, lofted through balls on the ground, stretch passes, a little bit of everything while these teams try to find out what's the soft spot and what can they do to break through and take the early initiative. Sarvan across to the near side. It's onto the foot of Manchado. Under pressure, he'll play it back. And now Lamb looking into the midfield. It goes for Sarvan. As the Raiders once again inch their way up the field. In the midfield, looking for Aranda, who ended up taking down, I think, Orozco, and was whistled for the foul immediately. Into the 11th minute, no score between second-seeded Aurora and fourth-seeded MSOE. Wonder if fatigue will become a factor at any point. And I say that because, of course, Aurora played 108 minutes on Tuesday night. Julian Orozco is the clear NAC tournament leader with 198 minutes, well, now 208 minutes of total play. Hasn't come off the field at all here in the second season. And then 5 players, or 5 outfielders more accurately, I should say, played the whole 90 for MSOE on Tuesday. Another lofted through ball for Aurora, cross into the box. MSOE was there. Now De La Paz, the drive from deep. That's blocked. And the Raiders trying to win the loose ball, and they do. They'll start the counter. Here's Aranda. The Manchado will settle it down. You can hear the fans getting into it tonight. It's a spirited crowd here at Spartan Stadium this evening. They have their fluffy coats on and are trying to will the Spartans to the victory. Aranda out wide for Manchado, or rather onto the foot of Celio. Works his way back toward the middle of the field. It's on his left foot. Pass was blocked. It comes out to Sarvan. He'll roll it out to the far side. Raiders again. Distant shot and ambitious, to say the very least. I think Aurora will accept a shot from that range all night long. So a goal kick for Aurora. MSOE takes it right back in the midfield. Fisher wins the ball and throws it down the sideline for Dolezal, who tried the cross up Lamb, and it's picked off. Avendano, Dolezal shoots. Stop made by Harris. Dolezal was able to fool Lamb with his route. It led to a turnover at the top of the 18. Avendano found Dolezal, but Harris was up to the task to keep it scoreless. 13 minutes in. Aurora gets the first golden opportunity. And now the Raiders the other way. Out on the far side. A shot fake, and now taking it wide is Ladd. Line drive cross was defended by Peters. Still on the Raiders' feet. Manchado looking. He tries a long distance shot. It's right at Egliadelis, who bobbled it initially but stayed with it. You wonder if these long distance shots are a product of some early frustration for MSOE. Haven't been able to get the ball into the areas they'd like to score from and have settled for some long distance attempts. They look good on a highlight reel, but are they the right choice at this point in the match? Now on Aurora. Shots are 3 apiece, 1 on goal apiece. As we approach the 15-minute mark. Still scoreless. Raiders again, moving forward. Here is Pika. He is turned over. Roman will leave it now to Vira. Aurora wasn't able to get up on the counter, and it's picked off. Manchado playing it forward. Useni spins off one would-be mark. It's still loose inside the 18. Useni's still on it and rolls it out to Pika. Trying to force a pass along the ground that Peters was having none of. It's cleared out to midfield. And now some ping pong there between the back rows for each team. Raiders are on it again. Here's Rohrman. Raiders on the logo, and they'll have to play it off of it. Aranda now for MSOE. Moves forward along the football sideline. Manchado working it to the middle for Useni. Raiders look to reverse field and find Rohrman out toward the benches. Aranda comes to get it in the midfield and misfired on a pass as it rolls into the Aurora bench.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a reminder that no noisemakers are allowed. Please refrain from using noisemakers. Thank you for your cooperation.
Crowd reminded not to use noisemakers, and you hear the reaction. Oh, they'll just have to use their voices instead. They've been plenty loud so far. Roar in the midfield. Roman dropped it off. Aurora attempts the through ball along the football numbers and fails to connect. And the Raiders will come out from their own end. We are in the 17th minute. Still scoreless in the NAC final. Aranda in the midfield to Manchado. It's felt like Aurora hasn't had the ball a ton here for the opening quarter hour, and Aurora having to be comfortable here not having the ball, and have looked comfortable not having the ball at this point. You know the Spartans can strike quickly and strike often. The lob into the attacking third. Fisher wins the ball and has to roll it into the midfield for Orozco. Named to the first team all-conference unit for the third year in as many for the Elgin High School alum. He has been a rock in the back row for the Spartans. Now Peters. MSOE takes it back. They send it out wide. Celio trying to run down the through ball on the sideline and couldn't do it. Of our first substitutions tonight, Misael Terrasis replaced Luca Avendano for Aurora. No changes for MSOE yet. Aurora once again trying a through ball, looking for Roman. The weight on some of these long passes has just been a bit off for the Spartans so far. They fail to connect again, and the Raiders take possession and look to move forward. Manchado is on it. Pica now, looking to advance to the middle of the field. Lays it off and gets it back. Now out wide. Ladd looking as he stops in front of the end line. Into the 18, out of the 18, and has to slide the pass over. The cross didn't connect. It comes out to Sarvan, who tried to rip it through, and he did, but it's offside. Called on Useni. The 2025 NAC All-Conference teams were announced yesterday. Mentioned that forward of the year was Brandon Dolzal for Aurora. 18 goals, 43 points. They're both tied for the team lead. Christian Torres for Edgewood, the midfielder of the year. Ben Brody of Edgewood, defender of the year. And Maverick Van Lanen, once again of Edgewood, the goalkeeper of the year. Mateo Sequeira was the freshman of the year for Illinois Tech. We saw him on Tuesday night. Aurora was able to keep him off the scoreboard. And Edgewood, led by Tim Bruner, the coaching staff of the year. It's a free kick for Aurora. But the range is out there, so De La Paz will look to serve it into the 18 and left it short. Raiders will clear that out to midfield. So Van Lanen, Brody, Torres, Gale, and Sequeira, all members of the first all-conference team. Orozco, Omar Saldana, Dolzal, and Roman for Aurora, also first-team selections. And Celio and Pica for MSOE, and that's it. That's the whole team. Raiders now the other way. Pica tried to break down Orozco and couldn't do it. And it is out for a deep throw. We'll have a substitution for MSOE for the first time prior to this long throw. Stephen Thomas, the sophomore, checking in. Ladd has gone off. And I thought it was out for a deep throw, but it is a corner for MSOE. It'll be their second of the night. 23 and a half minutes to play in the first. No score. Raiders trying to change that. Egliadelis got to it, punched it up into the air. It's headed a couple of times by the Spartans. And Peters, looked like he healed that. Attempted volley by Thomas was sprayed out to the far side of the field and out. It may have been offside, as it looks like Aurora is going to take possession. Was it offside or just a foul? I think it was offside. So Aurora will look to work it forward on the second team for MSOE. Harris, the goalkeeper, joined by Rohrman and Useni. Aurora had De La Paz, Avendano, and Vira. The rest of the second team was Jackson Kiska of St. Norbert and Dominic Lagona, along with Kevin Ramirez and Davis Vega, also of St. Norbert. Jordan Davis Troller of Lakeland, a second team selection. And Gabe Vung of Edgewood, joined by Liam Morera and Brandon Kopp. And a number of honorable mentions we'll tell you about in a minute as the Raiders look to work the ball through the midfield. In the 23rd minute, first half of the NAC tournament final. Raiders long distance cross. Agliadelis will gobble that up. Agliadelis an honorable mention. So was Max Crawford from Aurora. Danny Aranda for MSOE. The rest of the honorable mentions were Jordan Rolone of Benedictine, Travis Fowler and Ryan Gutierrez of Dominican, Matthew Watson and Adrian Cogaludo of Illinois Tech, Hayden Dunn from St. Norbert, and Jack Leffel and Jesus Ramirez Pabon of Wisconsin Lutheran. That's your 2025 NAC All-Conference team. And Commissioner Jeff Ligney is in the house. He'll award the championship trophy to the winner later tonight once we decide it. Still no score here. Roscoe drives a through ball that Dolezal gets onto the end of, and the shot is turned away by Harris. Sharp angle. That would have been tough work for Dolezal, but he forced Harris to make a stop, and it's out for Aurora's first corner of the night. How about the ball from Orozco to get it there? Dolezal has been active when he's had the opportunity. Roman for the set piece. 20 minutes, 37 seconds left in the first half. Roman lets it fly. And defended by MSOE. Orozco will try to track it down at midfield. Now Peters the drive, and it's turned over. And it's a race. Useni needed reinforcements and didn't get it. He feeds Celio to the middle of the field. Slide tackle by Orozco to win the ball back. And this will be cleared out to midfield. Our assistant director of athletic communications, Ali Texera, by the way, just walked into the booth with pizza. And I can't eat unless she will allow me to talk with my mouth full. Meanwhile, here's Dolezal up the left side. Slide tackle. And what a play to win the ball by Alex Lamb. But Aurora's still on it. Lamb again with the tackle. A one-person defense and then collides with Fisher, who looked like he was trying to take a charge, auditioning for Steve Christensen's AU men's basketball team. And the referee calls the block, and it's a foul on Aurora. I'm getting into the spirit. I have my first basketball game on Wednesday. I'll start working in some of those basketball calls, friends. Eulogio Villapando is the referee tonight, making the decisions. No cards just yet for the opening 26 minutes. And Chado's cross blocked by Fisher, who works his way to the midfield. MSOE regroups. I was at women's hockey last night, and I have almost said cleared the center ice about 6 times today, and it's not ice out there. So I'm trying to work my way through this transition of seasons. I think I'm doing all right. As long as I don't say someone took a slap shot, we'll be okay. Raiders with it at the midfield. Here's Sarvan. Once again, a lob pass, and Useni not able to keep that in play. There is a plate left there, and I'm wondering if it's for me, and I'm also wondering if I just quickly put it away, if anyone will notice. It's distracting here in the booth at the NAC Tournament Championship, friends. Throw in for Aurora. Under 18 to play before halftime. And a foul on Arando. Doesn't love it. But he'll jog away. A restraint will be needed for both teams here. There's going to be frustrations along the way in this type of matchup, and Aranda demonstrating a way to handle it. Fisher rolls it deep. There's Jorge Morales. And as a sub for Aurora, and it peeled off his foot, and it's out for a goal kick. Morales came in along with Isaac Jacobo as Dolzal and Roman have exited. We saw Thomas enter for MSOE earlier. Now Braden Roth is in as Michael Rohrman heads to the bench. It was a corner after all. So Aurora will send it away to the back just beyond the 6. And no one was there, and it's out for an MSOE throw. Shots are 4-3 for Aurora, 2-1 on goal for the Spartans. No score. Glad you're here on this Friday night. Once again, in for Bill Downing, I'm Sean Fry. Isaac Perez is our technical director. Hasn't had a lot to do at the moment. No cards, no scoring, no clock stoppages. He's making sure everything is happening the way it's supposed to be, and so far, so good. Out for an Aurora throw. Fisher unable to connect with Jacobo, and Pica's on the ball and loses it on the sideline. He'll have the throw. Pica from nearby Naperville. He went to Bennett Academy. And if you don't know where that is, if you know where Benedictine is, then you know where Bennett Academy is. They're very close to each other. Over in Lisle, not so far from here. That's where he played his high school soccer. Team's leading goal scorer, but has been quieted so far. Everyone's been quiet. Aurora's top goal scorers have also been silenced as we reach the half-hour mark. No score. Aurora and MSOE. Here's a drive to no one in particular. And Egliadelis will run that down just inside the 18. Egliadelis will just roll it out. There is a wind, and it is blowing in his face when it's deciding to do anything. There isn't much of a reason to force it into a gust at this point. It's in the midfield. Morales battling. We'll have to leave it for Yelly. And a dangerous back pass that was nearly gifted to Jacobo. Harris had to get forward and drive it down the field. Aurora now takes possession in the midfield. Vira finds Jacobo. Tried to work back to the middle of the field, and he's fouled. A quick touch by Aurora as they tried to spring Fisher, and the referee did not allow it. It was probably the right call, but won't blame Aurora if they don't love it. It is a free kick. Roth was whistled for the foul, and he couldn't believe it. And in that moment of protest, Aurora tried to put the ball back in play. Now De La Paz. Nothing there on the free kick. It comes to Jacobo. He can't settle it down, and the Raiders clear. Now Peters. Back to the sideline for Fisher. Takes a big bounce, but it went out off of Celio or not. Went off of Fisher, and the Aurora fans don't love that. Tough to tell from here. 33 minutes. 32 minutes, actually, in the books. Here's a steal by De La Paz. He takes a look. Forward to Jacobo, the back heel. Morales, a shot. Did not get a lot on that. May have caught a leg on the way through, and no trouble there for Harris. A clever back heel pass from Jacobo, and it connected with Morales. But the finish wasn't there. We stay scoreless. Raiders working it forward, and they turn it over in the midfield. De La Paz there again, looking for Jacobo. Pass was off the mark. Lamb settles it. Useni slides it through. A little surprised Aurora not whistled for a foul. Now they are. Maybe I just didn't hear the whistle. It looked like a Pretty obvious foul, and indeed, officials were on top of that. Under 12 to play in the first half. Not a ton of high danger chances in this one just yet. No scoring. Shots 5-3 Aurora. Roth, a give and go with Useni, and he breaks into the clear. He steps into the penalty area, slides across through. That's defended. De La Paz got back for that. And then Peters was tripped up in his own penalty area. And Aurora will take it from their defending third. I think it might have been Vira with the defense of the low cross on second look. Either way, Spartans with it. To the logo. Vira was on it, and it's out wide. Feet looking for help. Terrasis. Feet again on the sideline. Aurora looking to connect with Vira up against the back row. Given away instead, and it's out here to the near side onto the foot of Roth. Playing it forward to Owen Gendrich. Didn't connect. Gendrich subbed in. Senior from Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. Both teams have made 3 changes here through the opening 35 minutes. In a match of this caliber, the benches shortened up considerably. But we will likely still see a few more here over the final 10 minutes of the half. Oh, and a turnover. The net is empty, and it's just sent high. A disastrous back pass. Morales forced Harris to make a play on the ball. It came right back to Jacobo, who had the whole cage and couldn't put it home. We stay scoreless. You wonder if maybe the wind was a bit of a factor. Tough break for the Spartans, and now the Raiders looking for the response. Roth comes down. Across to Agliadelis through his hands. Still in play. Feet will launch it to safety. Jacobo won the ball. Now Vira playing it back. It's lofted over the midfield. Vira's back on it, and a little forearm shiver takes a Raider midfielder to the ground, and I think appropriate call as Braden Smith would just come in to replace Ditar Useni was sent to the floor. No score, 8.5 left before halftime. And it's Roth. MSOE, a couple of near disasters on attempted back passes to the goalkeeper, and they've gotten away with both. See if that changes tactics perhaps a bit. You know, I know that you don't want to put so much on it that you rip it right past your own goalkeeper, but less is less, I think, in that situation as well. Nevertheless, still zeros on the scoreboard as the ball comes to Celio for MSOE at the midfield. Peters comes up. Still on the ball, the Raiders. Celio finds Pika. Steps into the 18. Takes it out wide. Goes for the back post and missed. And the Raiders had someone on the back post. So I'm not even entirely sure that that was not an attempted driven cross. As Stephen Thomas was in the vicinity, would have been a tap in, but couldn't get to the ball, and it's Out for an Aurora goal kick. In the 39th minute. A lot of this NAC Tournament Championship still to play. And who knows, will overtime be needed tonight? What else are you doing on this Friday night? Let's watch some soccer. Ball out wide. It's run down on the sideline. Cross knocked down by Aurora. And quickly out to the midfield where Celio getting back. Able to intercept the pass and the Raiders regroup. Roth. Low cross. Loose in front. The slide. Ball's loose. Raiders back on it. There's a volley attempt from Celio that was perhaps a bit reckless. It goes wide. A number of MSOE fans wanted a couple of penalty calls. I thought they were both good. The second tackle for sure was very clean. And Aurora escapes danger again. Well, there's a few hundred referees out there, right? Only one whose decision matters. Through ball was in the air. Morales looks to find Fisher and doesn't connect. It's out for a throw. Aurora not in any particular hurry here to get the ball back in as we're 40 minutes into our first half. 5 to go before halftime. Roth again. Connects in the midfield for Gendrich. Taken off of his foot. And back to midfield. Well, you might think two high-scoring offenses that this type of match is a surprise, but if you look at it the other way, this is maybe exactly what it was always going to be, especially when you look at how these teams have played down the stretch. A through ball into the 18 out of the reach of Smith. For Aurora, 10 straight wins, unbeaten in their last 12. 6 shutouts in that stretch. The only time they've trailed in that whole stretch was Illinois Tech, and of course that was a wild match. You no doubt recall, as it was only 3 nights ago. And then for MSOE, allowed 1 goal or less in 9 straight, and have allowed multiple goals only 3 times all season. 9 shutouts. The offense gets a lot of the attention. Aurora second best in the nation, MSOE in the top 20. These defenses come to play, and Coach Lakin for Aurora really thought defending as a unit was a key for this team through the middle and final third of the seasons. Oh, nothing just yet. Aurora looking to win the ball in the attacking third, and Morales was caught in the air just outside the 18, and a very dangerous free kick coming up for the Spartans. Free kick out near the sideline. Crossed in, no one there. Now Orozco punches it right back to the top of the penalty area. It's in the air, and the Raiders simply punt it through midfield all the way down, and no choice for Rosales but to boot it toward the seats. Raiders quickly follow. There's 2:35 left before halftime. Time for maybe one more rush each way. Roth looking for space ahead to Gendrich. Caden Mata and Ben Omernick have entered for Aurora. Diego Gonzalo and Juan Pablo Escobar are among the substitutions recently in for MSOE here in the final minutes of the first half. Raiders still on it in the attacking third, out on the far side. A step over, a low cross, that's booted out of danger. It bounces around on the end line and is out for an MSOE corner. 90 seconds before halftime. Still looking for the icebreaker. Corner goes to the near post and, in fact, nearly hit the near post. It goes into the side of the net. And that corner ends up being particularly harmless. It never had a chance, and Aurora will get the potential final rush as we're into the last minute of the half. It's a line drive looking for Mata on the far sideline. He didn't get there. Much more on that back pass this time, and Harris launches it to Ryan Lakin, who calls for the fair catch. And Aurora will take over at midfield. On the throw, Raiders take it right back. 33 seconds before halftime. MSOE will need to force the issue momentarily, but are now going in the wrong direction. You don't want to make a mistake right now. Now it's to the foot of Roth. He's dispossessed by Jacobo. There's 15 seconds left. Jacobo not get enough weight on the through ball. It's right back over the middle third into the midfield. And a foul with time running down as Gonzalo was taken down. I think you would put that into the category of a professional foul as time runs out. And we go to halftime at 0-0. Second seeded Aurora, fourth seeded MSOE. 45 minutes of regulation left to decide it. Halftime stats are coming up. This is Aurora University men's soccer. 45 minutes of regulation in, 45 minutes of regulation left. No score in the NAC Tournament Championship match between second-seeded Aurora and fourth-seeded MSOE. Our broadcast today is presented in part by BSN Sports. Wear what the Spartans wear. Visit athletics.aurora.edu/getau gear. By Chick-fil-A in Oswego. Eat more chicken. By Kaufman GMC in Aurora, celebrating 75 years of service to Aurora and communities across Chicagoland. By Elite Management Properties, offering extensive student housing options around the Aurora University campus. By Raising Cane's in Oswego, One Love. And by Rush Orthopedics and Sports Medicine in Aurora and Yorkville, Fox Valley's premier orthopedic care specialists. And for Bill Dowding tonight, I'm Sean Fry. No score, Aurora and MSOE. Here are the halftime totals. Shot 6-4 for the Spartans, 2-1 on goal for Aurora. 3 corners for the Raiders, 2 for Aurora. 2 stops for Christian Dersham, the MSOE keeper, 1 for Aurora's Alex Egliadelis. Possession 51-49 in favor of the Raiders. And the second half underway, Aurora moves left to right. Wearing white, MSOE's in red, going right to left. There's a collision at midfield, and an Aurora foul will give the Raiders the possession. Isaac Perez is our technical director, and Jackson Hay is on the camera, fresh off his first Division III goal for the AU men's hockey team. The 2-0 AU men's hockey team, who will open up NCHA play on Saturday, and by that I mean tomorrow, at Lake Forest for opening at home on Sunday. And if you like hockey, I'll be there. So tune on in on Sunday. How will this one be decided? Aurora tied at halftime for just the 5th time this season. MSOE's done that a little more often. Interestingly, both teams have just a single win when tied at the break. It's because they've mostly been in front at this point. Aurora 1-1-2, MSOE 1-3-3. Something has to give. Someone's winning this one. Raiders get a run into the box. Low cross looking for Lachlan Ladd, and that's defended well by Aurora. And out for a deep throw. Raiders looking to put the ball in play, and they do. Here's a low cross, well, I don't know why I was thinking with low. There was nothing low about it, and it ends up going out for, am I going to be a goal kick? Looks like it. So Aurora out to midfield. Have Dolzal and Roman back out up top. MSOE rush, and they have to boot it to midfield. Jacobo on the ball here, took it away from Manchado, but it's out for a Raiders throw. Aurora with the takeaway at midfield. And it's Fisher breaking forward. Dolzal picks up the ball. It's taken from him. Rolled out to midfield. The Spartans look to reset. A couple of finals already in. Aurora women's basketball wins its opener over Blackburn. I do not have a final score, but they hit the century mark tonight in a comfortable win to move to 1-0. They'll play at the Webster Tip-Off Classic tomorrow. They look to win that tournament to open up the season. AU men's basketball just getting underway here as they open the season against Gustavus. There's a takeaway for Roman, who steps his way to the top of the 18, turns and shoots. It's blocked. Got a foot to the second attempt and goes down. And now will pick himself up as Aurora retakes possession. And Rahman finds himself with the ball. Leaves it for Vira. Now Jacobo, on the edge of the 18, looking for help. And well defended by MSOE. And then Vira just took down Manchado. And now an MSOE players in distress. And they are going to stop the clock and check on him. So we have an injury timeout. A few minutes into the second half. 40-41 left. We pause here at Spartan Stadium. This is Aurora University men's soccer, no score in the NAC Tournament Championship. Out of the timeout. Ball's at midfield for MSOE. Again, wearing red, moving right to left. Aurora wearing white and blue, left to right. Still in the midfield. Danny Aranda checked out for Owen Gendrich here a moment ago. And now the Raiders with possession. Here's Ladd. He's fouled. A dangerous free kick coming up for the Raiders. Now into the 51st minute. And Pika set up right on the 0 of the football 20-yard line. It's approximately 31 yards from the goal. Pika will not go directly. It was a low cross and a kick save by Vira, who now tries to start the break. He battles with his opposite, number 10, Pika. But Pika hits the edge, bursts upfield. He's still with it. The cross, top of the 6, was heeled down by Useni. He looks for help. Out to Manchado up top. He'll send it through, and it's off of Agliadelis and the post. It's out for a corner, but it doesn't go in. Agliadelis, full extension to the back post. And now Pika sets it up. Set piece on the way. It's high to the spot. Bounces to Manchado, whose volley is high in the air. Punched out by Agliadelis. And now Jacobo, the header. A second header. Finds Roman in sprint. But booted away by Yelly, who had the angle. Now feet well down from the left back spot. Doing battle with Yelly. And out for a Raiders throw. MSOE with a push here in the early part of the second half. Still scoreless in the NAC final. Useni did not get a lot on the through ball. It's picked off by Rosolis. And Aurora gives it right back. The Raiders spending a lot of time down here in the attacking third. It's rolled out to Pika, who tried to flick it forward. He collides with Orozco in the penalty area. No call there, and it's rolled out along the sideline for a throw. I think that's a good call. Both players have a right to that space. It's going to take a lot more than that, I think, for a point to the spot in a championship match. I think that the officiating has allowed some physicality. I don't think it's crossed the line either. I think it's been handled very well. Jacobo, a nifty move, gets away from Ladd and then tried to lay it off to Vira and lost it. On a sprint, here's Celio, who weaves through traffic, and then a through ball that maybe was not an especially great decision. There was no one there. I think he was looking for more of a line drive and ended up with a bit of a chip shot. So the Raiders back with it at midfield. Useni will roll it out wide. Roth is on the ball. Roman comes down to defend. Another attempted through from Pico was cut off. And Fisher will retain possession. Looking to curl a ball up the sideline and curled it right out of bounds. 36 minutes remaining in regulation. I think we have to start saying that now. It certainly does not seem like icebreaker is coming. These teams are battling, but not a lot of dangerous opportunities, about one or two each way. Raiders trying to change that. Here's Ladd. His cross off De La Paz and out for a corner. This will be the fifth Raiders set piece coming up. And it's Pika. We'll sail it in. It's on the way. The back of the 6. No one was there. Lamb will run it down. Out for another corner. Fisher, no choice but to try to seal the line. And the Raiders will get another look at it. Great crowd here tonight at Spartan Stadium. You can hear them out there through our external microphone, and they have brought the noise. A lot of fun here to Spartan Athletic Park tonight. Pika tries again, curls it to the top of the 6, missed everyone, and comes out to Jacobo. Looks for Roman up the sideline. Was run down by Sarvan instead. Raiders in the middle third, turn it over. Dolzal gets to it and was immediately dispossessed. Raiders, with a lot of weight on that through that Yelly could only knock down, and then he gives a foul. Allows Aurora to take over at midfield. Jacobo, not enough weight on that pass to De La Paz. Leads to a turnover and a foul on AU. It's been a little bit of a sloppy first 10 minutes. I think in both ways to some degree, but Aurora has allowed MSOE to really control tempo here through much of this second half. Too much on that cross, and it's out for a goal kick. But this is a quick strike Aurora offense, and things can change very quickly. The NAC Tournament Championship Trophy is in the building. I'm looking at it. It's right next to Assistant NAC Commissioner Josh Schroeder in the booth next to me. We're going to give it to someone. Who will it be? Caden Radcliffe has entered for Aurora. Spartans take possession in the midfield. Vira out wide. Roman settles it. Still out on the edge. And now a burst down the sideline. unable to get into space. Oh, he's double teamed and run onto by Aurora. Loose in the box, still there, and cleared. De La Paz gets to it. He hits the brakes. Vira's now on it looking for reinforcements. And out to Radcliffe. Now it's Aurora with possession. Cross looking for Vira was too tall for him. Hops its way through traffic and out for a goal kick. Let's check in on AU women's hockey. They trail 2-1 in the second period up at Lake Forest. Nina Casillo has Aurora's first goal of the season. We'll keep an eye on that one. Raiders on the break here at men's soccer. Gendrich on the near sideline. Plays it out. Celio rolls it through. Ladd is in. He shoots. It was blocked. The follow is there. Pika has put MSOE on the board. Aurora had the initial goal line stop. It came right out to the Raiders' leading scorer, who made no mistake. First team all-conference picks, 12th of the year. And the goal in the 58th minute right now is the difference.
MSOE goal, scored by number 10, Nico Pika. Assisted by number 17, Lachlan Ladd.
Lachlan Ladd credited with an assist at the moment. Now Aurora will have to start pressing. You don't want to panic. About 31 and a half minutes. And now a little frustration for Aurora as the through ball from Fisher was much too strong. There's no timeouts in soccer. Aurora's going to have to navigate this on the field. Coach Lakin has talked about how much his team trusts their teammates. They will have to lean on each other here in the final 31 minutes. 1-0 MSOE. Pika tied the game in these teams' regular season meeting, which was a 1-1 draw. That was right around the 1 hour mark, just as he converts here in a similar spot. He had 2 assists in last year's final. Through ball for Ladd out of his reach. Egliadelis runs it down. Nico Pika has enjoyed playing Aurora in NAC finals. Spartans trying to get out on the break. Morales finds Roman. And now Fisher to Tarasis. He looks. And the tackle for MSOE. Pika again. And he is dispossessed and fouled. Raiders have not lost this season when striking first. They're 12-0-1. Ladd over the logo. Out wide to Pika again. Looking for space. He stumbled right next to Orozco. They play on. It's out into the corner for Roth. Another cross that never had a chance of being in play. And a goal kick. A nearly full moon hanging over Spartan Stadium tonight. And clouds drift by. Final soccer game of 2025 under the lights here at SAP. Aurora trying to shut the lights off with a winner. Work to do. Out for an Aurora throw. And heaved down the sideline. That was headed out for a deeper throw. Raiders coming at Aurora with a little more energy now since the goal, and they've had a great second half to begin with. There's Rosales. Turned over, and Ladd will bring it through midfield. And Chotto lost it, and Radcliffe charged in. He was tripped up, and Aurora will have it on the foul. I think that was the right call also. Aurora looking to reverse the field, forcing Fisher to break down the sideline to keep that from going out of play. Aurora really hasn't been able to get anything beyond really right around what will be the MSOE 20-yard line in a football game. It seems like that's been where the wall has been put up. And Aurora hasn't been able to break their way through. You call it the red zone. And we will call it the red zone tomorrow for AU's football game. That's where Aurora is trying to get into right now and put one in the net. Roman, a set piece. Was looking for, rather the free kick was looking for Dolezal. And then Fisher is dumped just outside of the penalty area. Oh, another foot closer, and you point to the spot. Instead, Aurora will have a tough angle, but as good of an opportunity as they've had in this game. 26-23 left and counting. The 64th minute. Roman walks it off. So does De La Paz. De La Paz will take it. He goes for the goal and sent it high. I was looking for a late dip, and it did not come. I think it's a little bit too early for MSOE to start looking for legal ways to stall. Aurora trying to threaten. De La Paz the cross after the steal. And it managed to thread its way between two Spartan attackers and out for a throw. And now the Spartan fans coming to life. Useni and Gendrich have gone off. Aranda and Joey Loduca, the latter in for his first minutes, have entered for the Raiders. And we've got a stoppage. And we're going to see our first caution tonight. Apparently not. This is just going to be a stern talking to. That was Pika. I don't think Pika's going to get the same grace if that happens again. Aurora went long on the free kick. It's back to Radcliffe and now to the edge for Morales, who couldn't keep it inside the touchline. Raiders with a throw, 24 and a half left. Aurora will win the ball back on the near line. Throw for De La Paz, who tried to chip it along the 18, nearly given away. And then a volley attempt from Terrasis that may have caught a body in front and caromed in on Harris. Shots are 8 apiece, 4-2 on goal for the Raiders. A foul on MSOE. Aurora once again driving it down into their attacking third, and they get it back on one touch. Vira ahead for Dolzal, flicks it forward. No one there, and Harris will keep it in play. Now Dolzal will chase him, and Harris will just fall on the ball. So you talk about legal ways to stall. There's one of them. It was a heads-up play by the senior, not to fall on it initially, but rather just to settle it and force a decision by Dolzal. Throw at midfield. Aurora with the takeaway on the throw. Slide challenge, wins the ball back for the Raiders. They have it at midfield. Sarvan. Manchado. At midfield, ball's free. They'll play the advantage. It's ahead for Roman. Out for a throw. He quickly sends it back into Morales, whose cross was off the line, and it's cleared the center. I think Aurora's just been a little bit too quick at times. It's all just looked a little bit rushed in the second half, I think, when they've had opportunity on their half, or rather on their attacking side more accurately. Now the Raiders with possession and room to operate. Laduca moving to his left, shoots. And just a bit outside as that sails into the parking lot. Well, you sense an opportunity to put it away, but there were other options out there. I'm not sure that's what Rob Harrington wants right now from MSOE. It's also worth noting that with Aurora, no lead is safe. They've just looked a little bit disconnected. Certainly here since halftime. But there's still 20-plus minutes to get connected and make this a different contest. It's forward for Roman. He tried to bend a through ball into Dolzal. Defended back out to the middle. Aurora will reset. Orozco to De La Paz. There's nothing there. Now Rosales through. De La Paz with a long touch. He wins the ball back after a needless slide tackle by MSOE. Quick give and go for De La Paz. Through for Dolzal, who breaks in the space. Now he needs someone to get on to the end of a pass. His first attempt was stuffed back to him. Chips a second one in. That's headed to safety. And now a volley attempt by De La Paz, tails well wide of the net. De La Paz not pleased with his performance on that attempt. And MSOE, the player down. And they stop the clock. 19:37 is what remains. No, now it's certainly not too early to stall. We're in the 71st minute, the NAC tournament final in a 1-0 match. A boot to midfield. The wind a factor on the goal kick. Vira in trouble on the sideline, looking for help, and he gets out of the way. Avendano feeds De La Paz. Aurora building up here. It's out wide to Roman. He'll cross it. Back post. Morales couldn't get there. Dolezal running to the near post, and Morales curling out to the far side, but cross not quite where it needed to be. And once again, the referee hitting the brakes. 18:45 left. Well, the referee is not going to allow any kind of attempt to stall the game, and looked like it was Yelly who now is going to come out of the match. Caden Mata is going to replace De La Paz. Harris trying to drive this into the wind. You can see the wind really knock it down. And allows Aurora to retake possession. Radcliffe was blocked back to him, and then it went off of him on the way out. I think they got that wrong. It looked like that caught the Raiders on the way out after it hit Radcliffe. But we have the advantage of seeing that right in front of us. The referee did not. Now in the space, Aranda, he plays it out wide. Here's Pico, shoots and hits the crossbar of the football uprights. The stoppage. They have to stop the clock for substitutions. They run it right again. Rizolis here to Radcliffe, looking for space. Mata with the long touch, loses the ball. Under 18 left. And Pica turning into space, steps into the 18, shoots off the post and stays out. Egliadelis popped up and ran it down before the rebound attempt. Remember that. Pica had a chance maybe to put it away. Now out on the sideline for an MSOE throw. Well, it's a game of centimeters sometimes. 17 minutes left. Raiders with the ball in the midfield, and a layoff pass for Pica. Not enough on it. And here comes Avendano. He's hip checked. No call. And then Aurora trying to work the ball high. Missed everyone. Same thing. Harris stops it and then falls on it. Maybe a little surprised that contact in the midfield wasn't called. That looked a little more deliberate to try to free up space. Aurora takes control. Off with the boot from Harris. They try to regroup here. The edge of their defending third. 74 minutes elapsed. Time running out in regulation and perhaps on Aurora's season. There's a foul. Avendano's taken to the turf. Vira plays it short. It's out to Roman on the edge. Across. It's not on target. Aurora was in the last Division III regional ranking. They were 6th. They would need a lot to happen to get an at-large. MSOE not in the regional ranking, so this is the way through. Edgewood will be nervously waiting on Selection Sunday, or make that Selection Monday more accurately. They are higher in the regional rankings, and here's MSOE on the break. Pika through for Ladd, who turns, his shot's blocked, and now Radcliffe runs to it, and he's fouled. Aurora quickly puts it back into play. Under 15 remaining. And Mata just drove it forward. There was no one there. And Harris has to throw it out. I'm surprised Harris took it so quickly. Aurora with the takeaway at midfield. Aurora with it at midfield. 14 minutes left. Another lob over the head of Vira. Had no play on it. Clock stops momentarily as goalkeeper Asher Harris wanted to discuss. I think the contact on his throw, or he wanted a yellow card on Aurora and didn't get it. Well, he got his explanation. Raiders with the ball, and they're defending third, and they turn it over. Dolzal to Roman. The cross, and the hesitation from Mata took a big bounce. He couldn't do anything with it. It gave the Raiders a chance to clear. It's out as far as Avendano. Spinning away and outside. Here's Roman. Cross to the back post. Headed away. Stopped up by Mata. And now Vira once again to Roman on the wing. He turns back to the middle of the field. Here's the cross. That's defended by Lamb. And the Raiders out to midfield. Aurora a little more sustained that time and just not able to find a head or a foot on the other end. Here's a cross. That flicks around. Aranda couldn't get it deep. It's out to Morales. He'll look for Dolzal at the spot that's headed away. Fisher is able to knock it down. It's cleared to relative safety for a moment, and now Aurora back to it. Roman, another cross. It just missed Dolzal, then it missed Morales as well and hopped out for a goal kick. Aurora pressing, getting closer. There's 12 minutes left. And Harris taking his time stepping this off. 1-0 MSOE. Oh, the wind just hammering that goal kick. It's high in the air again, and Roman able to settle that. Fisher trying to get down the wing in the space. Maybe a miscommunication. Ends up out on the sideline, but Aurora still has it. Like they were cycling the ball down there on the sideline. The line drive nearly hopped through to Dolzal. And a foul on Aurora. "11 minutes left. 3 out of the 4 times these teams have met in the NAC tournament, the winner has gone on to win the whole thing. Naturally last year, and in 2022 and 2015. Foul on MSOE on the free kick. Anxious moments here at SAP. Aurora trying to get level. Force this to extra time. Through ball just out of the reach of Mata running through. Raiders are on it. And now Ladd battling with Radcliffe. And Ladd just lost it. Tumbled off his toe. But it runs precious seconds off the clock. Now Aurora getting a substitution, and the clock does not stop for AU substitutions. Now MSOE sends someone over, and the clock was not far enough into the match to stop the clock yet, actually, but Aurora making that change. So MSOE will get one in as well. Spartans running out of time. We're in the 81st minute. Aurora averaged more than 3.5 goals per game this season. They have been shut out only twice, by Chicago and by Edgewood. They do not have one on the board yet tonight. 9 minutes left to do it. Vira was looking for the layoff on the sideline. It curled right out of bounds for an MSOE throw. Raiders will have another throw. And one more throw. Clock is not Aurora's friend right now. Nico Pica's goal in the 58th minute. It's held up to this point. It's the championship winning marker. There's still time left. Aurora trying to win the ball back, and right now just can't get a touch to go their way. Now a stoppage. To discuss with Rob Harrington something. .8:21 left. High in the air toward the Aurora goal. Ladd gets to it. He battles with Jacobo, and it's out for a goal kick. 8 minutes left. Just takes one right now. Extend the match. That's what Aurora is trying to do right now. Just extend the match. Rizolas, Orozco, Fisher have been on for the whole 82. And a foul. I have to stand corrected. Christian Dersham has been in net here for Aurora, or for MSOE. And has been doing a fine job. He'll have to come up with a stop here as Aurora has a free kick from out on the wing. Roman drives it in. It's flicked and stopped by Dersham. Down on Egliadelis. Now Jacobo through for Dolzal, who spun down, no call. Goes in on Dersham, who drives it away. 6 minutes left. 1-0 MSOE. Aurora trying to reload again. Into the penalty area. There's a cross, and Aurora frantically signaling for a handball in the box. That's not called. Or Aurora's incensed right now as it goes the other way onto the sideline. A number of unhappy Aurora fans right now after that. A little hard to tell from out here, but the reaction from Aurora was immediate and aggressive. But it's not called. There's 5 minutes left. Aurora will try it again. Roman is taken down. Aurora with the long cross that's headed away. And Pika will get to the ball. Dersham 4 stops. Egliadelis with 3. Right now, the lone goal for Pika. Zarosco. He rumbles down the sideline and lays it off. Here's the cross for Fisher. Was flicked. It's in on Dersham, who has to fall on it. As Dolzal closes in. Final 4 minutes now. Ball hopping around in the midfield. Headed from player to player. Dolzal chips this. It's still hopping around out there. And the Raiders calmly steer it to the sideline and boot it to midfield. Pika loses it. Avendano wins the ball. Morales. And a throw. 3:10 left. The freshman heaves it in for Rosales. 180 seconds to play. Aurora needs a goal. Roman sends it wide. Fisher steps. Plays it back. Avendano from range. Tees it up. Was blocked. Inside the 18, Raiders clear. But Avendano knocks it down. He tried to slip a through ball through, and it's picked off. And it's Pika. Onto the logo, and out wide for Ladd. 2:25 to play. Ladd trying to take it into the corner. It's an MSOE throw. The Raiders so close. The stoppage for a substitution for MSOE. 88 minutes in. The trophy is now at field level. Aurora trying to force the commissioner's office to come back upstairs. They're running out of time. And the Raiders are able to continue to leak time off the clock. They still have it in the corner. Pika now battling. Aurora desperately trying to win the ball back. Pika's on it again. This is a masterclass by MSOE right now of running time off, and they win a corner. Minute 20. Raiders take it short. Aurora finally wins the ball back and then turns it over. And they'll try to stall a little more time. Aurora just can't get the ball back. Finally free for Viro, just has to swing it forward. Raiders finally give it away. We're in the final minute, 48 seconds. Here is Avendano. Out wide to Roman. Leaves it to Fisher running in. He is tripped up. Ball is loose. Roman's on it, and his pass up ahead was off the mark. MSOE just boots it. 30 seconds left. Egliadelis has to come way out of his net to play it. Popped high in the air as Dolzal tries to run it down. It stops. It's one for Roman on the wing. 16 seconds left. Cross was blocked. Ball hopping around. Booted to midfield. Orozco will get to it. He tries to swing it toward the net. Dolzal gets a foot to it. Here is Morales from distance. That goes wide. MSOE runs onto the field as NAC tournament champions for 2025.
Final score tonight's game, MSOE 1, Aurora 0. Fans, thanks for attending.
It was not to be tonight for Aurora. Congratulations to the Milwaukee School of Engineering Raiders. Their 5th NAC tournament title. And for the 2nd straight year, the champs. And an automatic qualifier to the NCAA tournament. Shots 12-11 for the Raiders. They were even at 4 apiece on goal. Raiders had 7 corners to 2 for Aurora. Nico Pika. Goal in the 58th minute. He is the championship winning goal. His 5th game winner of the season. And MSOE will celebrate on Aurora's home field on this Friday night. A lot of folks to thank. Isaac Perez, our technical director tonight. Jackson Hay on the camera. The AU Athletics communications team. We had Matt Davis on the public address tonight. Ali Texera, our assistant director of athletic communications, was leading our team tonight. Kaylee Underwood leading the AU facilities team tonight. MSOE celebrating. They'll be awarded the trophy here in a moment. Once again, congratulations to the Raiders on winning the 2025 NAC Tournament Championship. Thanks to Bill Downing for leading the way all season long here at Aurora University for men's soccer. Had a great time listening to him on Tuesday night as Aurora mounted its comeback. And, of course, to all of you for watching here at home.
Please direct your attention to midfield where the 2025 Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference Tournament Championship Trophy presentation will take place.
And so that will do it tonight. 1-0 the final. MSOE NAC Tournament champions. They knock off Aurora. They moved to 14-5-3 on the season. Aurora falls to 13-4-3. The NCAA tournament field will be selected on Monday. Good luck to the Raiders in the NCAA playoffs. And we will see you next fall for Aurora University men's soccer. My name is Sean Fry. Thanks again for watching all season long here at athletics.aurora.edu and on YouTube at AU Spartan Athletics.
The Raiders will now advance to the 2025 NCAA Division III Men's Soccer Championship and represent the NAC, with the entire field being announced on Monday, November 10th at 10:30 a.m. Central Time on NCAA.com.